Picture this. Tupelo, Mississippi, 1935, a star is born. His name, Elvis Aaron Presley. Born to parents Vernon and Gladys Presley in a two-room house built by his father, Elvis was the surviving half of a pair of twins. His brother, Jesse Garon, sadly didn't make it past birth. In the midst of the Great Depression, the Presleys weren't strangers to hardship. But even in these tough times, they found solace in music. The gospel tunes of the Assembly of God Church, where the family were regular attendees, became the soundtrack of young Elvis's life. Elvis's connection with music was evident from an early age. His mother, Gladys, was said to have a lovely voice, and perhaps it's from her that Elvis inherited his vocal prowess. For his 11th birthday, Elvis received his first guitar. It wasn't the bicycle he'd hoped for, but this modest gift would set him on a path that would change the world of music. The mid-1950s brought about a seismic shift in popular music, and at the epicenter was a young man from Memphis named Elvis. Elvis Presley, with his slicked-back hair and magnetic charm, was not just another budding musician. He was a force of nature, a whirlwind of energy and talent that was about to redefine the landscape of popular music forever. In the mid-1950s, Elvis began to experiment with a fusion of sounds that had never been heard before. He took the raw, emotional intensity of rhythm and blues, the heartfelt storytelling of country, and the spiritual depth of gospel, and blended them into a unique musical concoction. This was not just another genre of music, this was rock and roll. Elvis's breakthrough came in the form of Heartbreak Hotel, a song that encapsulated his new sound. With its catchy rhythm, relatable lyrics, and Elvis's distinctive voice, the song was an instant hit. It shot up the charts and stayed there, heralding the arrival of a new star in the music industry. But Elvis was not content to just make music. He was a performer through and through. His live shows were electric, filled with energy and passion. His charismatic stage presence, combined with his signature hip-shaking dance moves, captivated audiences. He was not just singing songs, he was telling stories, sharing emotions, and creating an experience that was utterly unique. Elvis's rise to stardom was meteoric. His music, his style, and his persona were unlike anything the world had seen before. He was a trailblazer, breaking down barriers, and opening up a whole new world of musical possibilities. But perhaps the most significant aspect of Elvis's breakthrough was the impact it had on popular culture. Elvis didn't just make music, he created a movement. His fusion of rhythm and blues, country and gospel not only defined rock and roll, but it also reshaped the musical landscape forever. With his unique sound and charismatic stage presence, Elvis had not only made his mark, but he had also defined a genre. From the recording studio to the silver screen, Elvis's star continued to rise. As his music echoed from every radio station, Elvis Presley was not just a name, but a global sensation. His unique sound, a fusion of rhythm and blues, country and gospel, reverberated across continents, breaking boundaries and setting new standards in the world of music. His chart-topping hits were countless, each one a testament to his talent and charisma. From the soulful strains of Hound Dog to the infectious rhythm of Jailhouse Rock, and the timeless love ballad Can't Help Falling in Love, Elvis's music was a universal language spoken by millions. Each song was a new chapter in the book of rock and roll, written by the king himself. But Elvis's reign was not limited to the world of music. He made a foray into acting, bringing his magnetic charm to the silver screen. He starred in a series of films throughout the 60s, each one a commercial success. Whether he was playing a rebellious young man in King Creole, or a charming race car driver in Viva Las Vegas, Elvis's on-screen presence was as compelling as his stage performances. These films marked a departure from the raw, energetic sound of his earlier work. Yet, they showcased another facet of his talent, proving that Elvis was not just a singer, but a versatile entertainer. His ability to captivate audiences extended beyond the concert stage and into the cinema halls, further solidifying his status as a cultural icon. Despite this shift from his initial raw energy, Elvis remained a force to reckon with, captivating audiences worldwide. His music continued to top charts, his films continued to draw crowds, and his influence continued to shape the landscape of popular culture. Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, was not just a star, he was a phenomenon, a legend that transcended boundaries and genres. And as his star rose, so did the love and admiration of his fans, solidifying his place in the hearts of millions around the globe. Behind the bright lights and screaming fans, Elvis's personal life was a mix of joy, heartache, and struggle. Just like any other person, the king of rock and roll was not immune to the trials and tribulations of life. A significant chapter of his personal story began in the early 60s when he met a young Priscilla Beaulieu during his military service in Germany. Their love blossomed over the years, leading to a fairy tale wedding in Las Vegas in 1967. This union was blessed with a beautiful daughter, Lisa Marie, a year later. The birth of Lisa Marie brought immense joy to Elvis and Priscilla, further deepening their bond. However, the pressures of fame and the demands of a relentless touring schedule began to take a toll on Elvis's marriage. He and Priscilla eventually divorced in 1973, a decision that was difficult for both of them, but especially for Elvis. Elvis's struggles extended beyond his personal relationships. He grappled with the trappings of fame and the isolation it brought. The constant scrutiny of the public eye and the expectations of his fans often weighed heavily on him. Simultaneously, Elvis battled substance abuse, a struggle that would ultimately contribute to his untimely death. The king, known for his unstoppable energy and charismatic stage presence, was facing a battle that he would tragically lose. Despite these personal struggles, Elvis never lost his generous spirit. His philanthropic efforts were well known, and he donated generously to multiple charities throughout his life. He held benefit concerts and made significant contributions to causes close to his heart. These acts of kindness endeared him to the public, adding another layer to his complex persona. Elvis's life was a roller coaster ride of highs and lows, of triumphs and tragedies. Yet it was his resilience, his capacity to love, and his generous spirit that added depth to his character and made him more than just the king of rock and roll. In spite of it all, Elvis kept pressing on, his spirit unbroken. In 1977, the world bid farewell to the king of rock and roll, but his music and influence lived on. On a fateful day in August, a spark of brilliance was extinguished. Elvis Presley, the cultural icon and musical genius, left us at the tender age of 42. Yet, even as the world mourned, his legacy was already weaving itself into the fabric of our culture. Elvis was not just a musician, he was a phenomenon. His departure left a void in the world of music, but it also highlighted the enduring power of his influence. He had broken down racial barriers, fused genres, and redefined the very essence of popular music. And this revolutionary impact didn't fade with his passing. Rather, it continued to resonate, echoing through the halls of music history and shaping the sounds of generations to come. His songs, from the soulful strains of Heartbreak Hotel to the infectious rhythm of Jailhouse Rock, remain timeless classics. They've been covered by countless artists, each interpretation a testament to the universality and enduring appeal of his music. His unique style, his raw energy, and his undeniable talent continue to inspire musicians across the globe. But it wasn't just his music that left an indelible mark. Elvis Presley, the man, with his charismatic stage presence, his generous spirit, and his complex personal life, became a symbol of the trials and triumphs of fame. His story has been told and retold, sparking discussions about the pressures of stardom and the pitfalls of fame. And so, even as we remember the man who left us too soon, we celebrate the legacy he left behind. His influence permeates every corner of popular culture, from music to fashion, from cinema to the very notion of celebrity. Elvis Presley's story continues to captivate, his music continues to thrill, and his spirit continues to inspire. Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, left an indelible mark on the world, his legacy resonating through the generations. His music lives on, and so does the spirit of the king,